Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to Balance Consciousness. I am Jess. How you doing? How's Scorpio season? Welcome to your weekly intuitive Reiki healing. This is for everyone. This is collective. Um, I don't know about you, and it's probably because I have some Scorpio placements in my chart, but I love Scorpio season. It's a time where we really go deep. We really deep dive, and it's such an opportunity. Yeah. So how are you guys feeling in it? Because I know not everyone naturally goes there. Scorpios, people who have a lot of Scorpio in them, it's natural. It's natural. It's easy to go down into the depths, if you will. So some of you might be doing a lot of shadow work. Some of you might just be feeling deep. Some of you might be in a space of seeking more, wanting to seek more. Oh, my ear just started ringing really loud as I said that. Some of you are really deepening your spiritual practices, your connections, your sensitivities might be coming online a little bit more. You might be appreciating them more, or at least being open to seeing what they have to say to you. Yeah, so hope you guys are doing well. If you're new, welcome. The way my weeklies work is I pull 3 tarot cards. I'm pulling from the Shadowscapes tarot deck, and they set the tone for the healing. And then I give about a 10-minute or so Reiki healing, and intuitive messages come up in the process. If you're new to Reiki, it's a harmonious energy healing modality that will never deplete. It will never cause harm, has nothing to do with my energy. I'm just a channel and a conduit. Excuse me, guys. Feeling some throat stuff already going on, so I apologize for the throat clearing. I feel like I was feeling that either last week with you guys or for the Scorpio season healing. Go ahead and check that out, by the way. It's a good one. But yeah, some throat. It's like a blockage that's starting to break up. It feels that way. Anyway, it is not anything to do with my energy. I'm just a channel, a conduit. It does have to do with your willingness to collaborate with the energy. And by that, I just mean being willing and open to see what happens, to see what it brings you. Most of us feel really peaceful and relaxed after. A lot of the healing happens in our subconscious, and that's 95% of us that we're completely unaware of. So there's trust and faith to be had in that, but that doesn't mean you won't experience conscious sensations like temperature changes or tinglies or emotional releases, epiphanies, what have you. You might fall asleep. Who knows? Do feel free to come back and experience this healing more than once if you feel the call. It's so powerful that it can be done from a distance, and the pre-recorded videos are helpful in that you can experience it again and again if you're maybe feeling like there's a message that you didn't receive the first time, or a new level of unlocking to the healing that you might feel called to experience. So for those of you who have been with me a while, thank you so much for your support. I hope you guys will like the video, subscribe if you haven't yet. Support each other in the comments as you always do. I'm so sorry, the throat stuff. Really, really interesting. I'm just going to take a quick sip. All right. Thanks for your patience, guys. Did I say the date range? I don't think I did. It is from the 28th of October until November 3rd. Isn't that crazy? November 3rd. So this is for Halloween week. Happy Halloween. Obviously, this week is going to have a lot of energy where, the veil is thinner. Like I said, more sensitivities might be coming online. We might be feeling just more sensitive in general. At the same time, it's a guys, this is really interesting. Oh, let me slow down. At the same time, it's a little bit of deepening into that final push with the Pluto and Capricorn aspect right now, right? November 19th, I believe, is when it finally tips back into Aquarius for the rest of our lifetime. This is huge, right? So what I feel, even though there's so much happening on the world stage right now, and don't get me wrong, the next couple of weeks are going to have a lot of things happening in the world that are, going to be right in our face. Some of them are going to be very distracting. Some of them might be very volatile or turbulent or painful. And they will, if we're not in an aligned state, they can easily bring us out of our own introspection and our own inner peace. It's really fascinating how I almost cannot get these words out. So I say that to say, always come back to yourself and into the home. And if you're feeling like you're in this groove of like, I'm kind of in this space where I'm a little maybe hermity, or I'm in a little bit of a deep dive just within myself, do it. Do it. Embrace it. I'm hearing don't feel guilty. For some of you, I feel like it's something that for some reason might feel like self-indulgent, or that you're escaping from your responsibilities. We all have a different story. So if that is the case, pay attention to that and find the balance. But this is the season of really digging into what we truly want to let go of, before the Pluto tips back into Aquarius and brings us into an entirely new state of being, collectively and individually. But we have to work individually. The more that we work just within ourselves, the more that it's going to act like osmosis, and affect the collective. So let's pull 3 cards for the collective for this week. I hope you guys have a good Halloween if you celebrate. We also have a new moon coming up soon in Scorpio. There we are. Thank you. This new moon, I don't know about you guys. It feels like it's one of those where it feels really good, but you could easily, if you're not in the aligned state, see the hardship in it. I think it's going to be a really good one. It feels good to me. All right, before the messages come spewing out, we got the King of Cups. We got Justice. Felt that in my body. And we got Judgment. Fascinating. Okay, 3 of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, digging into the depths for sure. Let's take a moment. We're going to thank the Reiki for all the healing that's about to take place. Sit, lie down, do what's best. You're not working. You're just here, okay? And you're just open to receiving. So let's just take a breath and become present in your body. Yeah, those of you who have not checked out the Scorpio season healing, that is for the collective. It's not just for Scorpios. Um, I'd highly recommend it. And throughout the season if you need to, okay? I went right into the energies today, but I'm going to continue to announce, my little bit of rebranding. Make sure you're checking out my new content if you want to see more of what I do. I've got some really exciting offerings, some big free offerings coming out soon. So keep your eye out. All the information for my work, my website is down below. My one-on-one work if you're looking to do some deep dives. Okay, guys, so this Justice card was the one that like hit me deep into my solar plexus, actually. Whew. When I when I first picked up the King of Cups, I heard keep your cool. Keep your cool, right? The King of Cups is the embodiment of emotional regulation. And for those of you who haven't done deep emotional regulation work or just working into emotions at all, remember that emotions are vast. There's a wide spectrum of them, right? So sometimes when people hear emotions or emotional, they only think crying and sadness or anger outbursts, right? Or maybe they only think of tears or they only, you know what I mean? But joy is an emotion, ecstasy is an emotion, anxiety is technically an emotion or at least a symptom of it. Fear. Yeah, what this screams to me is like take it a day at a time. I think that this week could really be beautiful for many of us. Um, but when we get when we get justice and judgment out at the same time, you guys, oops, sorry, that I mean that's pretty powerful. That is really powerful. That is screaming to me like, and this is going to come off as like a little bit of tough love, but remember, it's just kind of what I'm feeling and hearing from your spiritual team. It's screaming to me like, you want to keep going like this? You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. I don't know if I even need to dig deeper into this. Whatever's been blocking you or holding you back, or whatever is a negative pattern, some of you are literally seeing something good and going, na na na, la 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 la. I don't, you know what I mean? And there's ego in that. And guys, I say that with love. We all have ego. And for those of you who haven't heard me talk about ego, I think it's yeah, I think it's important to kind of go into this. So I am not one to say dismiss the ego completely, just no ego. But when we use that generally speaking, I see it as a little bit more of a deeper dive into a wounded ego. Let me explain. We need to have our ego in order to live on planet Earth and to relate to one another. All right? Ego is what helps us to be in this human body so that we're not just a light being floating out into the ether. And I know some days that feels so nice, but we do have responsibility to come back down. So when we're getting into egoic patterns, if you will, egoic behaviors, the way that I see that is that there's a part of our ego that is incredibly wounded, right? So it means that the behavior that's coming out is coming from an old childhood wound or a trauma that we might have endured or, a time of betrayal or rejection or failure, right? A lot of times, guys, it comes from fear. And I believe that if we can come down to whatever that core fear is, it can be so helpful. It can be so helpful for us to understand where that's coming from and then to go, okay, I know that's in my body and I'm going to love myself. And normally, when we discover what that core fear is, it sounds ridiculous to the rational mind, right? But it actually is what our cells believe to some extent. There goes the throat again. So, for example, um, a lot of core fears, which we have determined as core beliefs subconsciously, are things like, I am not worthy of love, or I will always fail at what I try to achieve. Um, you know what I think you know what I mean. I don't need to say a lot of them. There are things where if you say them out loud, your mind goes, oh, I know it's not that big of a deal. And we start to kind of minimize it and things like that. And then we're not honoring our emotion. But if we can drop into what that core belief is, that core fear, we'll realize that it guides so many of our misaligned states. And remember, this is subconscious stuff, guys. So sometimes we're not even aware of it, right? So, for example, you might be someone who, when you get into your core fear, rather than opening up and being vulnerable to those that you love or reaching out to confide in someone, you dive deep into work or you dive deep into productivity because that helps you to go, okay, I'm successful. I'm successful. That's an example. Um, when you are deep into, I am not worthy of love, you dive deep, 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 deep into, I'm going to do things for other people. Not necessarily just from a service to others, but it's like, I'm going to do all these things for other people so that I can get some external validation and feel loved. These are just some examples, okay? I'm really going off on this because it's coming up strongly. So what I get from this, guys, I'm just going to show this to you together again. What I get from this is honor your emotions. Work on finding the balance. Keep your cool, but there's definitely some big, like, kind of stepping up to the stand, stepping up to the plate kind of energies of, where are you going to go from here? You want more of the same or do you want new? And new is going to be uncomfortable at first, but if we can be brave enough, Six of Pentacles is under that Three of Swords. There's a lot of heartbreak, and pain that might cause us to resist this. But, if we can start to put in some hard work, start to give, this is so interesting. I never go through bottom of the deck like this. Nine of Pentacles then comes out. Look at that independence and that inner knowing. If we can just be real with ourselves here. That's what they're saying. Like, you don't have to over explain it. Can we really be real with ourselves? Let's find some honesty, some self honesty. And if you're not ready to reach out to another individual and confide in them, you need to at least be able to do it with yourself. And sometimes that's really hard. And that's why it's so helpful to have at least one other person in your life where you can be like, I can fully open up to this person, show my ugly self, not be afraid to appear weak. Just go, like, I'm feeling like a mess right now. Again, these are just examples, guys. This might not be your story in particular, but it's feeling very collective. um, and if you feel like you don't have that human in your life, you have spirit, and you can say, listen, I feel like I'm a mess and I need some perspective here. Can you give me some outside perspective? That is the hugest form of strength that we can ever show ourselves. What an act of self love. No, we can't do it all alone. Whew, geez. All right, let's tap in with your chakras. I haven't even done this yet. Scorpio season. All right, third eye. This was similar to the Scorpio seasonal healing as well. That throat's clearing a bit, but there's something in that throat that's hiding for a lot of you guys. A little bit of heart, a little bit of solar. Yeah, you know what's interesting, guys? It's really collective. Like this week, it's a lot more about the messages and just kind of like I feel like I'm just constantly giving you guys movement. Because the more that we can create movement and the more that we can then just kind of sit in this introspection and contemplate, not chase. Yeah, the deeper that you're going to go into your self love journey, into finding the answers you seek. Um, I'm just going back to, if you don't have that human being, you have spirit. You have God, divine, the universe, angels, guides, whoever you speak to. Um, Remember, you can be your open and full self, even like some of you are even holding yourself back when you're praying and meditating. Know that they see all of you. You can't hide. And that's the beautiful thing, is that there's something so freeing and liberating about just being so completely open and authentic and vulnerable and you. And then if the feelings of shame or I feel weak come up, know that first of all, that is something that you learned somewhere. It is not true. It is one of the most powerful and courageous things to seek guidance and perspective from another, and to be open to receiving it as well. And if we're not there, we're not there. Who do you trust? Yeah, because there's steps, there's levels to that, right? First, we need to have someone that we trust. Then we actually need to be open to hearing what they have to say and receiving it. And then it's about what we're going to do with it, right? Sometimes we just need someone where we can just be open, and it's not necessarily about receiving advice. It's just being able to have someone who's like, oh, wow, like, thanks for letting me see you. Who do you allow yourself to open up and get messy with? Well, that was interesting. I got cut off there. We were getting ready to finish anyway, but who do you allow yourself to open up and get messy with? And do you allow yourself to do that with yourself in the first place? Okay, guys, this is really powerful. I'm really curious if you guys have anything to share about this in the comments. Let's take a final breath together, and we're just going to focus on a white crystalline light coming down through our crown and filling up our body, okay? Relax your body, exhale, get all the air out. Let's do a slow inhale in through the nose, holding at the top and feeling that white crystalline light coming into your system, and it's vibrating and clearing and rejuvenating you and really buzzing, and feel the warmth, feel the tinglies, feel it fill up every single area. Where is it not reaching? Filling you up with more vibrancy, with more clarity. Yeah, be clear with yourself, be honest with yourself. Let's exhale, push out what doesn't serve you. Be real with yourself is really the theme today. That's the big message, guys. Whew, wow. Let's lock your energy up nice and tight into your solar plexus chakra. This is not putting on armor or guarding. We're saying what's mine is mine, and what does not serve me, kindly stay out. Nice. Happy Halloween, guys. Happy start of November. Happy Scorpio season. Happy new moon in Scorpio. Tell me how this week is for you. I'm sending you guys so much love. All the information for my one-on-one work is down below. Thank you so much to those of you who are sending donations. As thanks, I truly appreciate you. Keep your eye out for my other content. Take a look at the new content I've been posting the past week or so. And I'm sending you guys so much love. Um, you guys are just absolutely wonderful. Thank you for being willing. And it's an honor to be here with you. I'll see you next time.